In this video, I'm going to be going over what top 5 cookbooks I think would be good for an intermediate home chef. If you already haven't seen my video on top 5 cookbooks for beginners, I recommend clicking the link above. You might be asking yourself, when do I go from a beginner to an intermediate? In my opinion, that's when you're comfortable making a lot of these basic recipes yourself, and you've gone through the books I recommended in my beginner video. Even if you haven't mastered those books, just go ahead and grab these books or read some more cookbooks that you think would be great. There's no right and wrong time to read any of these books. I've just labeled these intermediate because they're a little more technical and a little more specific in ideas. So the first book I'm going to go over is An Edge in the Kitchen. This is a great book to learn everything about kitchen knives and how to work with knives, how to use knives, how to maintain knives, and different styles of knives. There's all YouTube videos on, how to sharpen knives, what type of knives there are. You can also use that, but it's just good to have one book that has everything in it. And even though I learned a lot about knives through YouTube and the internet, there's still a few things I learned in this book that helped me out. So I really recommend this book. Everyone needs a good kitchen knives. Just be careful not to start a knife collection. Once you buy one knife, you can't stop. The next book I recommend is Washuku by Elizabeth Endo. This is a great book on Japanese cooking, but also Japanese philosophy in cooking. I learned about this book through Kenji Lopezal, and he describes it as one of the most fundamentally important Japanese cookbooks out there. Learning about how to cook Japanese food can help you improve your toolkit as a home chef. Not only does this have really great classic Japanese recipes, but it also just has great understanding and thoughts behind how to cook Japanese food. I really recommend this book. This book goes over the ethos of Washuku, which is exploring, balancing flavor, applying technique, and considering aesthetic hand in hand with nutrition. It's not just how to cook food, it's how to think about and understand the food that we cook and how to improve on it every time we cook it. The next book I'm going to recommend is The Art of Fermentation by Sandor Ulrich-Katz. I've already made a review on this book. It's a great book on how to do basic fermentation or how to do anything with fermentation. It's taught me so many new ways to eat food. I really love this book. It's really dense with information, but I went through the whole thing. It really helps you a lot in expanding how you could prepare different food. The next book I'm going to recommend is On Food and Cooking. On Food and Cooking takes a lot of the food science of a lot of ingredients and recipes and makes it easy for home chefs to learn about. If there is a topic on food that you want to know more about, this book has it. This is a classic book that everyone recommends reading. It's like The Joy of Cooking, but with more explanations and more in-depth on subjects. This is another really dense book, not many pictures, not really any recipes either, but if you want to know something on a subject, this book has it. And my final book is actually not a cookbook, but it's Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain. Obviously, everyone knows who Anthony Bourdain is, very famous celebrity chef. And the reason I recommend this book and not a cookbook is because Kitchen Confidential has inspired so many chefs to go out and cook professionally. I'm actually not going to recommend the physical version of this book. I recommend the audiobook, which is read by Anthony Bourdain. It adds a lot of character to the book. It's a really fun and interesting read on the life of a chef. It's a good intro to more writing that's not about recipes, but more about the thoughts and the ideas of chefs. I hope this video helped you guys a lot. I plan on adding more videos like this to the series. I may go back and do more beginner cookbooks, or maybe add more to intermediate, but you'll eventually see more lists like this. Thanks for watching.